Well, hello racing fans and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show. It's for a new month and it is the 1st of November, Saturday, Turffontein, the Big T, stand-side track, and it's a feature race day. We kick things off with race number 1 at 12 sharp, and we should end things off with the 10 races on the go at 17:15. I trust that you, the valued racing fan, as well. Just catching up with Alistair Cohen off air. I'd just like to take this opportunity first up just to congratulate Warren Chadha and Warren Rippon on a fantastic job that they do with this Allied Steel Rod on a Mission charity mile race. They have been to a few up in Gauteng. It's a massive success when it comes to the charities and the organizations that are supported on the day. And of course, it is coupled with some good feature racing as well. Alistair, I'm sure you share the same sentiments.
Absolutely, Deez. It's a wonderful race day. And hello to all the viewers, all the racing fans out there. As you mentioned, rightly mentioned, charity does have great success. The old Germiston November handicap, and an interesting race. But as far as the day is concerned, what strikes is that even if the charity that's attached to the horse that runs last, there's still some sort of incentive, some sort of payout that they score from. And what I do like is that it tends to be different charities. Yeah, some obviously back up year on year, but there's a nice spread of heartfelt charities that pick up the pieces that come to enjoy their day, and represented by a Grade 2 race, which is fantastic. I think there's been a lot of build up to it, which has been fantastic to follow. But the big picture here is towards the end of the month with the Betway Summer Cup, and a lot of horses that will be in action in the Grade 2 mile on the Saturday will be prepping for that race, and that's probably why this event has got a role of honour that might not make too much sense, but we'll go through that a little bit later on. I think the key point for punters is that there's a pick 6 carryover attached to this race meeting, which will be a lot of fun. I've tipped a pick 6, but I won't let that run by. One or two horses that I really like through the pick 6, but a few races that are very trappy indeed.
Okay, let's get straight into it, Alistair. Lots to talk about. 10 races on the bounce and 2 jackpots, which we'll touch on later on as they come up on the race by race preview. Okay, maiden plate will kick things off. It's over 1160, and the betting is like so. Horse number 2 is trading at 28 to 10. Number 3 at 4 to 1. There is money for number 4, Grand Empire, from 14 to 1 into 7 to 1. Split the 8s, number 10 for Matthew and Mike de Kock at 7 to 2, and horse number 12, Witch Hazel, that is trading at 7 to 2. So race number 1 not forming part of the exotics. All that will begin in race number 2. How can we get things off to a fly, Alistair? Do you like something? Are you suggesting a bet here in race number 1?
My suggestion is wait for the canter past when it comes to race number 1, and it sounds like a complete and utter cop-out, but what I've heard in the last 48 hours about some horses in this race, keep an eye on quite a few. I think the overriding opinion is that it would take a very good first-timer to win. But it sounds like 3 or 4 first-timers in this race have a ton of ability. The market suggests number 4, Grand Empire, is interesting. Samango Kamalo takes her out for Sean Terry. We know about Terry on big days. That's the son of Vercingetorix out of the very good but very quirky mare Palace of Dreams, who was famously with Romeo Francis, went over to Mike and, well, not Matthew at the time, but Mike de Kock, and won some nice races at Palace of Dreams. I know one of the Terry horses here has got ability, if not both, one of the first-timers anyway. But judging by the market, it could be number 4, Grand Empire. But let's just wait and see if there's a follow-through. 6, Master of the Baroque, is very, very well-bred. Son of Master of My Fate, trained by Alec Laird. I've been hearing for a few months that Alec has a nice youngster that hasn't run yet. So we'll see if it's that. We'll see if there's any market moves. And I heard a noise in Cape Town about number 10, Split the 8s, which was subsequently confirmed 1,000 kilometers up the road in Joburg. A half-brother to William Robertson, the high-quality sprinter trained by Cornet Spee. So with a high number draw and with a threat of rain around, just bear that in mind. It poured on Thursday night. At the time of recording, it's grey. There's a forecast for light rain. I don't think this meeting's in jeopardy, but there's no doubt the Sting will be out the ground, and that will make a high number draw even more attractive down the straight that number 10, Split the 8s, has. So, yeah, the word out about him. Then we got the race runners, 3 of which make appeal. Number 2, Major Arcana, fantastic run. A few more strides, he runs down Golden Operator. Moves Zieni on board for an inform. Roy Magna, number 3, Tintin, hasn't been seen for a long time, but that was a very nice debut effort behind stable companion War of Kingdoms. So let's see how he goes, backing first run back after a break. And D's what I saw from number 12, Witch Hazel on debut. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I told Mark Khan as much, because I was at the Val when this horse made his debut, handing out catalogues, that this is a very, very smart racehorse. He's got the looks. He ran a very nice race on debut behind African Pride, who doesn't need much introduction anymore. He runs later on the card at feature race level, and that's got to stand this horse in good stead. Just going through that form line on debut from Witch Hazel, African Pride a subsequent winner, as was the second horse, Monkey Puzzle. And there's an update with the horse who ran 8th, beaten 15 lengths in the form of Elusive Red, also coming out and winning. D's, this is a powerful form line with Richard Ferry on board. I'm not drawing a line through number 12, Witch Hazel, so very tricky. And also a whisper out the number 11 Tigers captain is going to improve from the debut, beaten by Grade 1 winner Jan van Gooyen. I mean, I know that we've exhausted this race. There's a lot of talk, a lot of moving parts. The time of recording, I'm not prepared to put my head on the block. I'll wait for the canter past, but a lot of interest around these horses in the first.
Some valuable information with regards to the first timers here from Alistair Cohen, but as he suggested, let's wait race time to make that final decision in race number 1. Race number 2 will kick off the exotics. It's the Bipod, 12:30, 11:60, maiden plate fillies and mares. At the time of recording, Alistair, number 2 and 10 are out, so those are the 2 scratchings. But let's have a look at some betting. We'll begin with number 5, Quiet Winter, 18-10, Zaki and Hoodalakis, 6 Stone of Scone at 7-1. Then we got horse number 11, In Between, for Paul Matchett. I've taken down the betting on this horse, Alistair. Is not in single figures at 16-1, because I just want your opinion on the individual. 13 is Zakura Hanmi from the Sean Terry stable. The one thing that will grab your attention with this individual, who's trading at 4-1, is his 400 to finish after being so dumb and so green for most of the race, trading at 4-1. And then Alec Laird's runner number 15, Stubborn Love, is at 7-1. Alistair, I just want to start off with this horse that's priced up at 16-1, In Between, Matchett and the Philisanem Koli. I thought that was a fair introduction, considering the horse, ran up to a point and then stayed on. I think there's lots more to come. I'm personally suggesting that 16-1 is a big price.
Yeah, definite quartet inclusion, D's. What worries me is that in front of her was a horse called Madam Huntress. Yes. By a length and a half in front of her. And Madam Huntress ran in a decidedly moderate work riders race on Tuesday and ran downfield. So worried about the strength of form. But with that said, yes, In Between can go in one direction. So I'd make her, in a big field, a place chance, because you'll get some place value here. I know there are 2 scratchings, but you'll still get a nice spread of value around for top 3 and top 4 with certain bookmakers, and a nice horse to include in quartets. With I think something at a big price is going to get into the top 4, and she could be a nice piece of value. But I'd hesitate on making her a winning choice. These... I don't know if I'd quite bank her in the Bipod, but I'm close. 13, Sakura Hanami. I don't know how she ran 4th on debut behind Vanakim. Vanakim ran during the week, ran 2nd straight out the maidens. She looked a little flat in the parade. Candace had to run a power of pearls in that race, who ran 3rd. And Johan Janssen van Vuren, a highly rated youngster, who ran 2nd in that race in the form of Tempranillo, who hasn't been seen since, but I'm sure we'll see her at some stage. She looked a little flat in the parade ring, and she made no impression through the first half of the race and absolutely took off. Like I said, she had no right to run 5 lengths behind Vanakim. Although 1st, 2nd and 3rd were clear of Sakura Hanami, it's the 400 to finish, as you mentioned, that really stuck out about number 13, Sakura Hanami. So Reno Woodley takes her out, high number draw down the straight, lots of scope to improve. If she takes one step forward, I think that she'll be a hard filly to beat. There are a few here that have been on my radar for a while that have hurt me, D's. They include 4, Midnight Miracle, 5, Quiet Winter, especially beaten favourite in 3 out of 3 of her last few starts. I think that Lucky's kind of been battling to find her trip. Interesting that Craig would have had the choice here. Interesting that Craig's gone with number 5, Quiet Winter. Number 6, Stone of Spoon, another horse that's been on my radar. And 7, Winter Bell, when they showed their hand running her at a feature race on debut at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. She must be showing something, and just on that evidence, I've backed her up a few times, and she's not done me any favours. So I'm I'm once bitten, twice shy with a few of these, and that's what makes me a little bit more keen on number 13, Sakura Hanami. If you were looking for one or two others in the buy pot, they would definitely be numbers 4 and 5. That'd be the backup, but no choice where my top choice lies.
If you're looking for something else beside the form, with some confidence with 13, Sakura Hanami, the one thing I will tell you, have a look at the ownership and whose race day it is. Maybe that could be a plan come together for Sean Terry and Mr. Arun Chadha on number 13, Sakura Hanami. Then we move along to the place accumulator, which is race number 3, 1,000 meters. And this is a listed Golden Loom handicap. And there's some quality in the race. We'll begin with horse number 5, Alistair Chieftain. That's the first horse when we go numerical order with the betting at 7-1. And welcome back, Gavin Larina. What a start for him as well. 9, Karate Kid, is at 8-1. 10 is a scratching. Horse number 11, Charming Cheetah, is a 7-1 shot. And I see they've gone with blinkers. And then a horse that we've given a lot of airtime since his introduction to racing on the 18th of May at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. I just have to compliment Corne Space on his belief in the horse. We know what a giant he is, and all the praises he had when this horse debuted. To see it come to the fore now as a 3-year-old Alistair, because the way he's been winning his races, I've been impressed with this individual.
He won with so much in hand last time at the Val. I know it was a small field, and War of Kingdoms didn't do too much from that form line during the week. That was some win for number 13, African Pride. Another thing that's in his favour, he weighs over 600 kilograms to the son of Rafif. He's a giant, as has been well documented. With the going likely to come up soft, he'll plough his way through this going. He'll absolutely love it. He'll be floating over it while the smaller horses will be battling to find their feet. He is officially under sufferance off a 95. He's a net 101. So on paper, he's got a lot to do. But theoretically and logically, the amount that this horse has got to come could be any amount. Traditionally, this race is a little bit of a headache, to be honest. Last year, the race was run by Shia Varner, went off at 25-1, when ridden by Serena Mundley, turning over Taxi to the Moon. This is, like I said, the Golden Loom for a great horse, Goofy, trained by Buddy Maroon. He's not treated us with any Golden Looms that have come out and won. Granted, it's a listed feature, you're not going to get any Golden Looms at this stage of the game. You're not going to get any Buffalo Storm Cody's or Truth or things like that. They just have to carry too much weight with this being a handicap. But with that said, it can be a little bit of a headache. So yes, on the radar, very much number 13, African Pride, big winning chance. 11, Charming Cheetah. Just give up now. He's a top sprinter, number 11, Charming Cheetah. Don't try him again over the middle distance range. He might eventually get there, but his sprint form is out of the top draw. Placed at grade 1 level, placed in the nursery in Joburg on a soft track. Last time back to life, went second to Miami Mountain. He ought to have got a little bit closer, but would have needed the run. Don't leave him out of the play over a sprint. I've got all the time in the world for him. Two horses really interest me here, Dees. In fact, 3 horses really interest me that I'm not going to let run loose. 3, King of the Gauls. I know he's got an excellent record on the wet. If the going was faster, I'd be very, very keen on number 3, King of the Gauls, because of all the cheap speed that he's got. I think this race overall is tailor-made for a big run. Rare to see Tony Riverland in town. But then there are 2 horses here. One of them trading at 33-1, the other one at 8-1. And I refuse to believe that there's that much between them. They are 7, Dreamland, who, for me, had a very nice run last time, quiet run behind Truth, and number 9, Karate Kid, who ran second behind Truth. There's a bit of a nearly man as Karate Kid. The weights Karate Kid suggests should finish just in behind Sheldon and Taxi to the Moon and Dreamland, but Karate Kid shouldn't be that disgraced. But I saw Dreamland last time, back from a break. He ran like he needed it. Soft introduction back to the racetrack. A horse who's good in his day. He's got blinkers on for the first time in a while. I think his best form was with blinkers on. He was dangerous at the peak of his powers, number 7, Dreamland, and for me, he represents all the value. And I'm having a place bet in the race, and I'm including him in my place accumulator. I'm not going to have a win bet on number 7, Dreamland. If he won, good luck to those that listen that carefully, that I think he represents a ton of value. In order of preference here, D's, I'm going to go 11, 13, 7, and 9, but I wouldn't be drawing a line through numbers 3, 4, and 5. They've got obvious chances.
Okay, you got a lot of horses to consider there for the minor positions in trifectas and quartets, but you heard it from Alistair. He's going to lead with number 11 as his top choice here. But African Pride, at the time of recording, one of the horses that's been backed anti-post, 14-10 into 8-10. Can he make it 3 on the bounce and raise his game to this type of level? Well, he certainly has the ability to do so, and maybe he could deliver on Saturday. Race number 4, it's the big one. Alistair mentioned at the top of the show that there's a sweetener of 500,000 Rand for you, the valued racing fan. They're estimating that pool to reach 5 million. With quality racing, hopefully it's well supported. It's the Tabs Tarling Stakes, Group 3 over 1,400 meters. And this is where the big one begins, racing fans. Quality field as well. Number 1, Elegantrix, races with the compression mask. I see that in the changes, 22-10. Then we got number 5, Mlambo at 5-1. Number 5, Stormy Day at 33-10. 7, Ovation Star is at 7-1. Some money for Warm Reception from 6-1 into 5-1. Candice Dawson's runner, who was a very easy winner first up on the inside track. That is at 5-1. And then it's double figures, the balance here, Alistair. You know, I'm just having a look at these 3-year-olds around the country, whether it's the Colson Geldings or the fillies. And I'm in awe, firstly, at the support that we're having at the sales to buy these individuals, because in Cape Town they're stepping out. It's unbelievable. You know, I did a preview at Brandon Braley, and I said they had to split one race 3 ways. The amount of horses that are unraced that are coming out, and the quality on offer with these 3-year-olds, well supported by all the owners around the country, Alistair. It's truly, what's the right word? It's encouraging.
Yeah, it's encouraging and probably a bit overwhelming as well. And I know that we're not necessarily comparing apples with apples. You'll see at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on the 8th of November, there are 18 events that are open with a high possibility that none of those 18 will become a new race meeting on the 10th of November, simply because of all the maidens, and this is countrywide. I mean, Durban, the state of Durban racing, and I'll say this going into the Betway Summer Cup, in 20 years, I don't think the state of Durban racing has been this healthy in terms of quality. There was a time, not long ago, where Durban horse getting into the Hollywoodbets Durban July was a novelty. If they did get in, or if they did travel around the country, you almost considered them as horses that were almost making up numbers, despite, the odd year and the odd horse that was just freakishly good. Now, Durban horses can go anywhere in the country and hold their own. And in fact, I think that Royal Victory 2 years ago, there's a good chance that a KZN horse could win the Betway Summer Cup. There are quite a few on my radar. Legend of R at the top at the moment. But horses like King Pearls, Madison Valley, See It Again, are we going to give him another chance? I mean, these are all horses very much alive. And then just going through the 3-year-old fillies, which is where you're addressing, this is a very, as you say, encouraging race. Not so much in the fact that we got those Shreef bombs, or potentially 1 or 2 horses from Cape Town that are stepping out and look like they're upwardly mobile. But these horses are very much in the same boat. It's not a blank canvas, but it's definitely a canvas of which there's going to be a lot more art and a lot more decoration as their careers go on. So very excited to see how we stand at this stage and where we go through the Wilgerbos Drift Triple Tiara into champion season, which again just promises to be out of the top draw. In this first leg of the pick 6, with a pick 6 target of, let me just get my ducks in a row, a lot of money, 5 million Rand, a likely pool. Let's see if we get there. I've got 5 horses in my play. I want to start with Warm Reception. She couldn't do any more on debut. She stepped forward in her work. She's looking very well. She's working very well. She will be sufficiently tested here. From that debut run, Never Neverland stepped out and won with a degree of ease. There was always the idea that the further she goes and the more she races, the better she'll be. So she's got the extra 200 meters to contend with. Won't be too easy from that draw. She comes in a place to 10, but expectations are that as time goes on, she'll become a serious filly, and she has got a winning chance as number 9 Warm Reception. She's off 76 days, nothing's gone wrong. She's been nominated in a few places and just kept cracking bad draws, so she's fit. She's had a few grass gallops and she should be good to go, and we'll see where she fits in against horses that are a little bit more battle hardened. Number 1 Elegantrix comes in a fit filly. Her last run, a graduation level out the top draw over 1450. I had my doubts whether she had reached the trip. I think she definitely does now. now. Also won't be too straightforward from that draw. She's got cheap speed, so she's likely to go forward. A lot of front runners on Thursday on the inside track stayed on, so that'll make Elegantrix a target to catch. Let's see if they'll get the better of her. All pretty persuasive, held in high regard, not a 1200-meter horse. I think that they were equally encouraged and disappointed last time that she got turned over by Perfect Miracle, who runs later on the card. She'll be in her wheelhouse here over this trip. I think it's unfair to judge number 5 Mum Lambo on that last run behind Hazy Daisy, because Hazy Daisy came out and franked that form, and then so did Lady Sabrina, who ran third, that one on Thursday. And then Hazy Daisy looks like a horse who's definitely on the right track and got a very bright future. She's held in high regard, number 5 Mum Lambo, and she probably had a very good prep coming into this race, being third run after a break and stacking up those runs time and time again. And then I had a word with Gavin Lorino at Hollywoodbets Durbanville on Wednesday, just trying to suss out the feeling. I said, will Stormy Day get the trip? He turned to me and said, she'll get 2,000 meters. What are you talking about? She's unbeaten. She's got more to beat, like quite a few in this race, but don't leave her out. So I've got 1, 4, 5, 6, and 9. 5 horses in the first leg of the pick 6. Looking for another would be number 7, Ovation Star. She didn't beat much at Hollywoodbets Greyville, but she did everything correctly. So she would be next best for me.
Yeah, exciting race, this race number 4, and we'll see on the ratings how the handicapper has summed it up and whether he's got it right here. Race number 5, Betway Grambek Stakes. It's a Group 3 over 1,400 meters, and now we go to the Colson Geldings. Tin Pan Alley. What a performance from him last time out. Yes, he had the weight on his side, but he still had to get it done, and he got it done with Malasede Kechede. Gavin Lorina now up, wide draw. 1,400 meters, 28-10. 2 Zalatoris, he's a smart horse. Always grabbed my attention, especially watching him on the 27th of July, winning at Hollywoodbets Greyville. Impressed me that day. He's at 9-2. Then we go on to horse number 6, Nyaka Nyaka. Worth a mention because from 12-1, that is shortened into 8-1. Miami Mountain is at 4-1, Alistair, and he goes for 3 in a row. And then we got... yeah, that is it. Can you believe it? Those are the runners, and the balance are all in double figures here. So they've got this horse, Tin Pan Alley, not well clear because numbers 2 and 8 are at 4-1. But once you look past that in the betting, there's lots of value to be had if you're not in the camp of the horses at the top here, Alistair.
I think the 3-year-old crop in Joburg is the strongest we've had in years. I think the Dingons on Betway Summer Cup Day could be one of the races of the season, because here we lacking the names of Chronicle King, Jan van Gooyen. I throw Shadowfax very much into the picture as well from a Joburg perspective, and probably 1 or 2 others that are slipping my mind at the moment, and yet we've still got a field here of hugely promising youngsters that could very well be even Grade 1 material. We've got Tin Pan Alley, who right now is comfortably the best horse in the race, Grade 2 winner, Grade 2 placed, Grade 1 placed. As you say, his win in the Betway Spring Challenge was out of the top draw under Kechedi. Now gets Gavin Lorina on board. Look, the Spring Challenge does have a good record of 3-year-olds, so no surprise that he was able to get the job done. He beat Atticus Finch, who's a Betway Summer Cup winner. So can't knock him. Top choice of that, there's absolutely no doubt. But we'll see how close these other horses are, considering the routes that they've taken and perhaps the quiet passage that they're on to get to this Grade 3 race and into the Grade 2 Dingons later on in December. Got a few horses in the pick 6. I'm willing to give number 5, Whispering Death, another chance. Mike and Matthew de Kock have an embarrassment of riches with their 3-year-old colts. And again, no Jan van Gooyen, and there are 1 or 2 others that have slipped through here and avoiding this race. Whispering Death, I know, slipped in, I think it was in KZN before one of his runs. I want to say on Gold Challenger, Hollywoodbets Gold Challenger. It's taken him a while to get back. Ignore the last run, would have needed it. He'll be better for the run. I do put the other 2 de Kock runners just ahead of 5, Whispering Death, but I'm not prepared to write him off and say that he can't win, because what I saw early doors, he's a horse with a lot going for him. Muzi, and he's on board. 8, Miami Mountain. Jeez, he's a solid son of Canfor Cliffs. He's a tank. He doesn't look like a 3-year-old. Out of Grade 1 winning mare, Miss Florida. It was quite a dainty filly trained by Justin Snaith, but Miami Mountain's anything but. Trayanas came out and won from that penultimate start. Last time beat Charming Cheetah, who I'll give a solid chance earlier on in the card. He's going in the right direction. The talk is, though, Dees, that number 11, One Eye on Vegas. is a serious horse. Now, he's held by trust on that first start. Sean Veal takes a ride. He's got an awful draw. He won by 7 1/4 last time. He couldn't possibly miss. He could have won by 17 1/4, the son of Buffalo Bill Cody. He's going to answer a lot of questions here. If he were to win, he could be promoted right to the top of the 3-year-old Colts Countrywide. And I think if he didn't win and sort of ran a solid race in defeat, I don't think he'd lose any of the stripes, number 11, 1 Eye in Vegas. But the talk coming out of the camp is that keep a very, very close eye on him. If not here, just remember the name. And then number 14, Trust, beat Monkey Puzzle on debut. Monkey Puzzle a winner. He beats 1 Eye on Vegas. 1 Eye on Vegas a winner. Draw won't be too easy for number 14, Trust, but he had, again, no right to win last time. He looked like he was in a bit of a flat spot and a bit of trouble with 200 meters left to go, but he unwound in good style and ran them down like a very, very smart horse. So he's another one that's got a very bright future, number 14, Trust. Again, if he didn't win here, don't lose sight of him. He'll win some nice races as time goes on. So 1, 5, 8, 11, and 14. Am I perfectly safe? Probably not. The two that I would consider would be 2 and 6 if budget allows.
5, 11, and 14. The Alistair's horses as backup for the horses that are more fancy than the betting are all trading at 12 to 1. And that's my reason for mentioning. If you don't like the horses at the top here, you got some value to play in your multiples on the day, and that could be the race where you could certainly increase the value of that all to come with 12 to 1 shots. Race number 6, it's the Yellowwood Handicap. It's a listed race over 1,800 meters. World of Alice, number 1, Sean Terry's runner, a winner the other day, 4 to 1. Blinkers are on, as it was last time out. Then we go on to number 9, Two Steps Queen at 7 to 1. 11, Women's World at 8 to 1. 13, Warning Sound at 5 to 1. It's double figures, the balance. Alistair, I'm just going to go to that interview because I listened to that interview when Sean was interviewed with World of Alice's win last time out, and the one thing that he chirped, tongue in cheek, he said that some people are more cleverer than I am with regards to how they saw the race, because we know who was in the race, and obviously Tina Lovelace is the runner that I'm talking about, but just judging on the market support for her, I enjoyed that chirp from him because they're all there to win regardless of the market, and some guys really got stuck into this filly and she delivered for them.
Yeah, I think Sean was truly surprised that World of Alice won, because 14.50 not her game. Her running style before that, she just always left so much to do. But she learned good habits last time. She travelled closer to the pace. The blinkers come off, interestingly, number 1, World of Alice. Let me just double check the latest sheet. No, blinkers back on as of this morning at 9:30. So just take note of that. Blinkers are on World of Alice. That makes a lot more sense. Dees, I just think with the good habits that she learned last time over a better trip, I don't care that she's got extra weight. I think the run under the belt 9 days ago is good as a grass gallop. I'm surprised she's 4 to 1. I made her a 2 to 1, a 15 to 10 shot, number 1, World of Alice. She's my banker in the pick 6. And if she goes missing, then it's going to become a pretty miserable day. If you look around, Hat's Queen needing the run, Do It with Diamonds back from a break. Coco Melon's last run was just too bad to be true. Lady Fallon, from that draw, not going to be easy. I know she's won over 1,800 meters, but I still think it stretches her a little bit. She won the Jacaranda at the end of the year, but she just got the job done. Too short for Teo Toriata. I've got a bit of time for number 13, Warning Sound. I'm not surprised to see her second choice, but she's going from good handicap level. She was desperately unlucky at a penultimate start, but good handicap level, suddenly into feature race level. I know she's got the weight concession of 53.5, but I think World of Alice is simply a cut above. I thought her runs to Fiery Pegasus throughout last season, when beating her in the Fillies Mile, when going close in the Volkerbos Drift Oaks. I just think all that on offer is far too good here to turn her over. So banker in the pick 6, number 1, World of Alice. That's where I stand. I'm in and out here.
Okay, that's it for Alistair. 1 World of Alice, having won on the 23rd of October, and he's hoping she can back it up. She's no doubt the race horse at the top of betting boards, but Alistair mentioned 4 to 1 looks generous at the time of recording, and personally I doubt that will last. Race number 7 is the Allied Steel Road on a Mission Charity Mile, a Group 2 over 1,600 meters. It is for $1 million. And let's go through the betting. Number 1, Atticus Finch. What a comeback run the other day. Yo, that was impressive. 1,450 meters behind Tin Pan Alley, considering the barrier position. Calvin Abib, whenever I speak to him about this horse, he can't get the smile off his dial. That's trading at 7-1. Horse number 4, Confederate. Well, we know how he's going to go. 7-2. That's the way he enjoys it. Up front, Rachel Vinegar, superb last time out, and she'll get the chance again. Then we go on to horse number 10, Bus Stop in Hounslow. Richard Farias picked up the ride for the colors that are absolutely flying. Hollywood Racing at 8-1. Choice Sonata, Erico Verdenese. Well, we know the strike rate that Gavin has with this fellow, 1 from 1, and this is his chosen ride for the Allied Steel Road Charity Mile. One has to respect his decision. Horse number 13, Call Me Getrix. Well, when she arrived in Gauteng, I had a long chat with Alistair on the show that she could be the find of the season for Sean Terry, and well, she hasn't put a foot wrong. 54.5 kgs, and she's backed Alistair 8-1 into 5-1, and then it is double figures the balance. What a race, Alistair. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I think we all are. Let me just go through the Roll of Honor. Let me start in 2000, but I'm going to pick and choose. Billy's, Duchess, Darba, Jamaica, Soft Landing, Aldery won in 2010. The horses that have won the Charity Mile. And then some obscure winners. Pierre Jourdan, not obscure in 2011. Mujarab, remember him? He was in Turf Talk. He was highlighted in the Glenad. 2013, Royal Zulu Warrior, brilliant horse who had problems. 2014, Bezanova. 2015, Booklet Top. They were both Alec Laird trained horses. I refer to Atticus Finch. 2016, New Predator, not a surprise winner. 2017, Hat Puntana, still don't know what to make of that. 2018, Coral Fever, brilliant horse. 2019, Barrahin, brilliant horse. 2020 was won by Hoodoo Magic. 2021-22, both by Bingwa. 2023, Puerto Manzano, Love Turffontein. Last year, won by Winchester Mansion. So what I'm trying to get at is that this race has a different Roll of Honor. Not necessarily the best horse. It is a handicap. I venture to say the horse that's had the best prep coming into this race, and that comes up pretty much untouched without an eye on the Betway Summer Cup, generally comes out on top. So I've got 5 horses in my pick 6, 1, 4, 10, 11, and 14. I'm going to go to my top choice here and start off with him. I'm going to surprise you. Number 10, Bus Stop in Hounslow. He's got a tragic draw. He'll come in a few places with the reserves or certainly 3 scratchings in the race. Richard Faree's on board for Grant Maroon. Go and have a look at that last run. Ran third to Tin Pan Alley, just behind Atticus Finch. I think Bus Stop in Hounslow is more a Charity Mile horse than Atticus Finch. Atticus Finch undoubtedly more of a Summer Cup horse. If you go and have a look at the weight turnarounds, Bus Stop in Hounslow, 2 kilos better off with Atticus Finch for a head. And then Schwarzenegger, who I'm going to get to in just a moment, finished on their coattails, and he also comes in well weighted to turn around with Atticus Finch. So I'm going to go with this as my top choice, but with no degree of confidence. I just think that he represents a little bit of value at a price of 8-1 a few hours before one stripe runs in the Breeders' Cup for the Hollywood team. So I'm going to lean towards him as my top choice, but he's, like I said, not one-way traffic. If you like Bus Stop in Hounslow, got to like Schwarzenegger. Gavin on the back of a 2-month suspension, sweating to 55.5. Crazy. This also turned over Fire Attack. He's turned over Confederate. He's waited to stay in front of Confederate from that run in the Egoli Mile. I think the soft conditions will suit Shosanada more than Confederate as well. He will need luck from the deep draw, but very, very good horse. Can't knock him. Would have needed his last run. Quite a reintroduction to the racetrack, and that he's probably popping at the right time. 13, Call Me Getrix. Definitely in the race. Love to win the Joburg Spring Challenge over Rodeo Drive. Well clear of the third placed horse. Good draw, nice galloping weight. She fits the bill. There's number 13, Call Me Getrick. And then 4 and 10 also going to go in. I mean, Confederate, great comeback. Deadly from the front. Rachel Vinegar on board. Her instructions will be pretty straightforward. And then Atticus finished what he did last time. Had no right to run second in the Betway Joburg Spring Challenge. He did. He'll have the run of the race out of draw number 1, and he's more than good enough to trouble the judge. So there we go. 1, 4, 10, 11, and 13. The horses that I've got in my pick 6.
8-1 shot gonna be the roving banker as an each way play for Alistair. Number 10, Bus Stop in Hounslow. Then we move along to race number 8. It's a Java Stakes listed 2,400 meters. Let's bring up the field and have a look at some betting here. We'll begin at number 4, United Council at 7-1, 6 Moment at 11-2, 8 Demover at 4-1, 10 Inflame at 2-1, and it's double figures the balance. Well, I've had a good look at Sereno's rides on the day. And if somebody has to walk up to me and say, please give me one that you think of Sereno that could be his best on the day. He's got some lovely rides. I'm going to pick this horse as possibly his best ride on the day, Alistair. And I've had chats about Candice as well. And I must say that it could be a well-executed plan from her. It's not willy-nilly placing these horses. And she could have timed it to the T with this horse coming into this race with 54 kgs on the back, 2,400 meters. So I'm going to make this. I'm not going to get it right most times, but I'm hoping I'm right this time. Inflame could be Sereno's best ride on the day.
Yeah, I'm hoping that you're right as well, Dees. Even though I've got a few horses in the pick 6 with number 10 Inflame, because now this is the big league. He's going to stay all day. The softer, the better. Remember Irish Flame over this trip in the South African Derby? Yes. Absolutely annihilated Pierre Jordan, who was going for the Triple Crown at the time. And Flame hasn't run on a soft track yet, but kind of hoping that they will see similar magic. Let's go through his career. Been well documented that he showed 0 at home going into even the run that he won when beating Demover. Showed absolutely 0 at home. He needs a hard ride, but Sereno knows him well, knows that you can't leave him alone. And his last start, coming back from a 2-month layoff, back from the mandatory African horse sickness, for me, he's not the 1,800-meter champion. He's just going to be a horse that's going to come into his own over further. If he adapts himself and if he's ready to take on all these older horses that have been there, done that, and earn their stripes, I'd like to believe that he will, and I also think the further he goes, this is not the end of the road for number 10 Inflame. It's not like the program has been open and said, right, we'll put a line, we'll draw a line under Inflame and plan it from the next start. There's a long-term plan with number 10 Inflame this season. But yes, I would like to believe that he's good enough. I do think he's good enough. He's fit, well, sound. Everything's gone according to plan with number 10 Inflame, and just hopefully he can do the job. He's going to give you heart palpitations through the race because that's simply what he does. Other horses that come into the play, I've got some proven long-distance horses in the brass. There's a Gold Cup winner in his own right, Sounds of Life through Cape Town last season. He followed that through in Joburg with good runs on the Gold Bowl and neat runs to King Pearl in the long-distance races at Hollywoodbets Greyville during champion season. 3 Breeze over this trip is certainly going to be dangerous. Muzieni on board for Michael Azzi. Got number 6 Moment, and although Moment looks very well held by Inflame, can't knock a horse who's won by a combined distance of 12 lengths in his last 2 starts. I actually think it's a little bit on the short side for number 6 Moment, to be honest, but I'm hesitant to leave him out. Damio will be more at home over this trip. His first run back from a break was out the top draw. God knows what happened last time. Nothing was found with number 8 Damio, but the fact he's back 16 days later bodes well. I'll feel guilty if I don't have Damio in my play and he rocked up, because I think he's a lot better than what his recent record shows. And then number 12 Corrupt with that lightweight, very good pipe opener last time in the Michaelmas behind Pioneer Square. I think that he'll make his presence felt with number 12 Corrupt. Since going the extended trip, it looks like he's grown an extra leg. So I've got 2, 3, 6, 8, 10 and 12 in my play, but number 10 Inflame I'd like to win, I hope will win, and I think he can win.
Okay, last 2 races now on the bounce here, Alistair. Races 9 and 10, the last double in the card. By the way, racing fans, race number 7 will be the start of Jackpot 2 with the 10 races on the go. So this is Fillies and Mares 100 divided handicap 1160. Number 1 is a scratch at the time of recording. 3 is Kindred Heart at 11-2. 4 Calantha 7-1. 4 Blizzard Snow is at 9-2. 6 Perfect Miracle is at 13-10. 7 Mystical Miss at 11-2. Double figures the balance. Well, on what have we seen of this filly to date, the daughter of Hawam, shedding the maiden and, of course, Graduation Company last time out. She makes a handicap debut, 52.5 kgs on her back. Racing fans, just a little, calculation for you. At this time of the year, the weight for age allowance for 3-year-olds is going to be 5 kgs. So all you need to do is subtract that from the 95, and she races off a net 85 and 52.5 kgs on her back. How much more to come? Handicap debut. I think they found the right field for her.
I think they have as well, D. She's Head and Shoulders my top choice, but I haven't banked it. I'll get to that in just a moment. Head and Shoulders top choice, no penalty for a win last time at graduation level when beating pretty persuasively runs in a grade 3 later on. She did come back distressed, I believe, after her last run. That's not reported, but it was a good gutsy win for number 6 Perfect Miracle. That lightweight's going to be gold with her, and yeah, she sets the standard. She looks exciting to work with, does number 6 Perfect Miracle. But D's in my heart of hearts, I think number 3 Kindred Hearts is going to be very dangerous here. Only because after her last run back from a break, I said to myself, and this is just gut feel. A lot of punters have it. You have it. You finish a race there, right? Who was that ran third? I'll be on that next time. And this is it. I thought she ought to finish closer. I thought she was unlucky not to finish closer. Funny enough, behind Perfect Miracle stable companion Kamati River, who's far more exposed and more well known about. She is also stakes placed. I think she ran second or third in the Sycamore towards the middle of this year, or April rather. Marco van Rensburg takes her out for James Crawford. James got his yard in good form. If they're not winning, they tend to be going close. I'm prepared to back her up in the pick 6, number 6 Perfect Miracle, and I think we'll make money here with boxed exactas numbers 3 and 6. That's just the way I read it.
Let's close things off then, Alistair, before we get to your suggested bet, which is a pick 6, you mentioned throughout the show. Race 10, 1160, and that's the distance. Number 3, 7-2. Number 4, 5-1. Horse number 5 at 8-1. There is money for number 7, Lost for Words, from 8-1 into 6-1. Then we got horse number 9, Captain Salvi, at 5-1, and it's double figures. The balance of the guys are playing jackpot 2 or the last pick 3 or maybe the last double. Which numbers would you suggest here in race number 10?
Horrible race, D's, but seeing as you asked, I shall give 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9 and 12 and 14. Those would be the horses that I'd row in with. Without any degree of confidence, my top choice here would be number 6, Clearwood Rose. I really liked her last time. She was under sufferance. I thought she'd run better over the minimum trip. She didn't fire up on the day. I'm simply willing to give her not one more chance. That's hard for a 3-year-old that's only had 7 stars. But I'm just willing to give her another chance. She comes in here relatively fit, which I think is key. Few horses coming back from a break. Like I said, I think her form overall in the sprints is just better than her form in the middle distance range, where she might have bitten off more than she could chew down in Hollywoodbets Greyville and in a novice handicap of 1,400 meters. Remember the mother very well, Fairy in the Woods. I remember her fondly. She was in Hassan Adams with colours. She famously turned over via Africa. My inkling is that she'll run better than what she did last time. At 14-1, she represents value, but no more than just an each-way play on number 6, Clearwood Rose, depending on how the day is going. But a few in here with winning chance. You'd be foolish just to put your neck on the block with just one horse.
Well, I like it. You've given us 8 runners out of the 16, so that's on the mark. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 12 and 14. Jotted Alistair Cohen's numbers down there for jackpot 2, and 8 of the 16 suits me just fine. Let's go to that pick 6, Alistair, and it's up on screen.
Yep, pick 6 starts at 13, 45 million rand target. So here we go for Allard Steel Road Charity Mile race day. 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9 in the first leg. Elegantrix, pretty persuasive. Mamlambo, Stormy Day and Warm Reception. Second leg gone 1, Tin Pan Alley, 5, Whispering Death, 8, Miami Mountain, 11, One Eye on Vegas, and 14, Trust. If you were looking for 2 others, the 2 I'd recommend would be 2 and 6, Zalatoris and Nyaka Nyaka. By banker 1, World of Alice, that's my in or out leg. By 1, Atticus Finch, 4, Confederate, 10, Bus Stop and Hounslow, 11, Schwarzenegger, and 13, Call Me Getrix. By 2, Nebraska, 3, Breeze Over, 6, Moment, 8, Damio, 10, Inflame, and 12, Corrupt, and then 3 and 6 to finish off, Kindred Heart and Perfect Miracle.
It's been a longer than usual show, Alistair, but why not? It is the 1st of November. It's a day for charity. You've put in a big effort with regards to comments, input, and some valuable information from behind the scenes. We thank you for your time and wish you all the best for this weekend and all the best for a new month as well.
Yep, thanks so much, Dee's. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to having you in Cape Town on Sunday as well. You and Sonele are making the trip down to Cape Town for the Cape Classic, so really looking forward to catching up with you there. But yeah, as for the Saturday card, really is a wonderful race day, and for all those that are in Joburg, I'd encourage you to turn up for the day, and for all those players out there, that Big Six is a true carrot dangling in front of you. Hopefully that we get the job done.
Well, Mr. Cohen, for Gallop TV and myself, Dee's done, and to you, the valued racing fan, all the best if you're playing on Saturday at the Big T. Until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gasle.